Posh Northerners. An oxymoron, I hear you say. At least I think that's what you were shouting. I think it's important to start with definitions. Definitions are very important. I'll start with the North, as that's, I think, slightly simpler than Posh, but not much. But for tonight's purposes, I'm going to define it as follows. This is, anybody? This is some country or other. And for the purposes of tonight, I'm going to define the North as this. That's a pretty line demonstrating my amazing PowerPoint skills. Can we live with that definition? Sorry, you're going to have to. That's my definition of the North for the purposes of tonight. I call myself a Northerner for the following reasons. I lived from the ages of 1 to 18 in a town in the northeast of England. We can call those formative years. I was state educated locally, and most of my teachers were not posh. I'll come to my definition of posh later, and that's complicated. For the sake of full disclosure, I have pretty much lived outside of the Wiggly area from the age of 18. My brother, who actually lived near here for a while, queried why I even call myself a Northerner. But he was 3 when we pitched up in the northeast, so what does he know? We're going to do a little bit of audience participation at this stage. Can you cope? Yes, that should be appropriate. Okay. We're going to do some brainstorming, and in a moment I'd like you to turn to a person or persons near to you. And Tim, do you have a second hand? I know I got you to do this before.
Oh yes,
second
yes.
I'm going to give you 30 seconds, not long, talk quickly. And you have to tell each other the first thing that comes to mind, or the first things that come to mind, when you see the following word, posh. That might be people, that might be attitudes, that might be ideas. 30 seconds, starting now. Time up. Stop talking, please. I know it's very interesting. Can I have some audience feedback, please? Waitrose, I like it. Any more? Olive times, my skills, thank you. We heard Waitrose. What? Monty Python parody, back.
Berkshire Hunt.
Berkshire Hunt, you two. That will do nicely. Right, you now have another 30 seconds to turn to the person or persons near to you and brainstorm the word Northern. Go. But we must stop. Any words, please? Any ideas? Something you've had. Well, go on anyway.
Clogs.
What?
Clogs.
Clogs, thank you. Geordie Shore. Grim, very good.
Ferrets.
Ferrets, yes. Claws, okay, very good. I'm also going to do a very quick straw poll. Please raise your hands. Who in the room would define themselves as posh? Who has ever been called posh? Oh, now the hand's starting. Would anyone here define themselves as northern, according to my weekly line? Not many of us. Here we go. Posh northern? Oh, what to say? We are a clan. Let's exchange numbers later. Anyone, apart from these people, ever met a posh northerner? Oh, okay, not bad. More than I thought. I suspect, certainly from my conversations, the Venn diagram of posh and northern has very little overlap, but I'm here to tell you that there is at least me. And you as well. I have been fascinated with accent, class and origins for my whole life. Maybe because I consider myself to be part of an interesting and unexplored social phenomenon. It's hard to say. I'm going to try to tell you a little bit more about my strange tribe, or at least the Durham division. There are others, and I've met some of us. But theirs is not my story to tell. But I'm going to begin with a personal story about the first time this whole thing struck me very forcibly. I met a guy at a party, we were just talking, chatting about where we came from. I said, I'm from Durham. Would you like to guess what he said in response to that? Why alright, very good. Any other suggestions what he might have said? Where's that? Possibly. Are you local? I said, I'm from Durham. He said, no, you're not. Now, I don't know if you've ever revealed a personal piece of information to a total stranger for them to tell you that you're lying, but it's quite disconcerting. And the man in question is from Scarborough, and very much sounds like he is. He also went to university in Newcastle, so he knows, for a cast iron fact, that everyone from the northeast sounds like Cheryl Cole, or whatever she's called now. The other reaction that I get more often than no you're not, which thankfully I don't get a great deal, is this one: you must have lost your accent. I get a lot of this. You must have lost your accent. When I have to break it to these people that I never really had one in the first place, their reactions feature somewhere on this scale: disappointment to annoyance. And I have to say, I share that disappointment. And I'll come back to my feelings on the matter a bit later. Moving on to poshness now, another story. So you have to imagine me 10 years old, somewhat shorter than this. I've been given a Hornby train set for Christmas. Anybody ever have one of those? Yes, good. I want to buy some of those plastic figurines that make this whole train setup look a bit more authentic. So I go to a local toy shop with my friend Mark. We are the only customers in the shop, and there were two assistants who, for the purposes of this story, I'm going to call Brenda and Anne. We find some plastic figurines. They cost £1 for a bag of 3. This is a lot of money in the late 70s. And the phrase that Mark chooses to bellow at this precise moment is, "That's absolutely exorbitant." And in a response worthy of Alan Bennett, Anne turns to her colleague and declares, Brenda, we've got some really posh lads in here." Both he and I continued to be called posh on a regular basis until we both left the northeast. So, from my experience, it seems to me that there are two necessary conditions for being posh in the northeast. At least, number one is not sounding like Cheryl Cole, or whatever she's called now. Number 2 is using Git languages. You keeping up so far? You may be asking yourselves how it was possible for me to remain posh, surrounded by an ocean of Geordies. To answer that, firstly a word about Durham. Has anybody ever been to Durham? Yeah, good. In 1859 it looked a bit like this. And to be honest with you, not a lot has changed since. Someone once described Durham to me as being in the north, but not of the north. It's a pretty place, and pretty and posh seem to me to go pretty naturally together. Also, a word about my parents. They both grew up in the north, as defined by my squiggly red line. My mum was the only child of a Cheshire regional bank manager. My dad grew up in rural Leicestershire and was the first member of his family to go to university, where he was told he would never get on with an accent like that. Being an impressionable sort, he decided to take elocution lessons, which never really took hold. Of course, not everybody sounds like their parents, but I pretty much did. In short, I think I'm the product of a confused linguistic home environment. At least I had a short A, and there are a few things that were more likely to attract derision in the northeast than calling the green stuff in a garden grass. The other thing about Durham is that, although it's small, it does attract a wide range of people from across the country and beyond who come there to live, to work in academia, business and the church. Middle-class people. And being middle-class myself, their children were the people I tended to hang out with. Not exclusively, but mainly. We could all do Geordie if we wanted or if we needed. And if there's time, I'll share a few of my favourite Geordieisms. But our language was a strange hybrid, and the Geordies called us Posh. And then, of course, I moved out of the squiggly red area to the south, and I have to say most people here who hear me speak tend to identify me as generically, non-specifically northern, mainly on account of calling the green stuff in the garden grass. So that's my social peculiarity in a nutshell. I'm seen as posh in the north and generically northern in the south. Feels uncomfortable. I have a vague envy towards people who have a strong accent which is unmistakably linked to their place of origin. And not having that gives me a feeling of what the writer James Wood, who went to an actually posh school next door to the house I grew up in, calls homelessness. Homelessness. I like that word. I've tried to work out what it is I feel I'm lacking by not sounding like Cheryl Cole. Obviously, it would avoid the need to go into long explanations every time there's a conversation about where do you come from. I think there's also a perception of authenticity around certain regional accents, especially Geordie. It's an accent that opens doors. Maybe on a more basic level, I just want to fit in somewhere. I've made occasional attempts to do something about it, like my first week at university when I was surrounded by posh southerners. I actually decided to ham up a full Geordie accent for about a week. That's as long as I can manage. Anyway, by way of light relief from this introspection, and while thinking of questions to ask me, or all the ways in which you'd like to psychoanalyse me, I'm going to fire a very quick quiz about Geordie. Are you up for that? Slightly more enthusiasm. Okay. Point in class. We're coming back from PE. Our PE teacher says, lads, stop pointing class. If you were pointing class, would you be 1, insulting one another, 2, throwing mud, or 3, pretending you're trying out for Newcastle United? Number 2, throwing mud. Very good. Very good. You obviously heard this before. Spooky. You look out of your window and you see a spooky. In the garden, do you see 1, a sparrow, 2, a snail, or 3, a coal imitator? That's a sparrow. Very good. Ket. Now, I think this is very direct one actually. You go to the shops for a bit of ket. Are you buying horse tranquilizer, sweets, or cigarettes? Sweets. Sweets. A bit of ket. Mara, you see somebody in the street. Oh, Mara! Are you greeting a friend, an enemy, or a potential sexual partner? Or as somebody shouted last time I said this, all 3? Friend. Mara. There we go. In conclusion, thanks for listening, and sorry for not sounding like Sherlock Holmes.